Are you buying timber and you're wondering whether to order it in imperial measurements or metric measurements, and which is right and which is wrong? Well, there's no right and there's no wrong. There's both. Just to add to the confusion, how do you order your timber? You've got to watch out for imperial measurements and metric measurements. In the UK, all timber has to be sold in metric measurements, but the timber could be bought from other countries as well. So there are first steps. Know the difference between your imperial and metric measurements. The imperial measurements, if we were to say 2 by 2, that equivalent would be 50 by 50 mil. And it will be within a few mil of that. And as you go up, so 2 by 4 would be 50 by 100 mil, and 2 by 6 would be 50 by 150 mil. So the measurements will be slightly different between each, but be aware of that. But you could order in each, and that's what you typically would. Next, when you actually go and order your timber and you measure it, so if we had a 50 by 50 and this is a 50 by 50 timber, when you go and check it, it's not 50 by 50. So what the heck is going on here? Why isn't it 50 by 50? That's where we take the next step. So we've got nominal versus actual. What is that? So nominal is before drying and planing. So the nominal sizes is when the timber is actually cut from your lump of wood. So it's when it's dropped out, you've got the whole timber log, then they'll measure this up and they'll cut it up. It's going to be rough sawn. Then it'll be kiln, where it's going to be dried. And as the timber dries, it's going to shrink and get smaller. Then we want a nice smooth edge in the shops and we want it graded. So they'll plane it off with machines. So instead of getting our 50 by 50 mil, we refer to that as our nominal size. We actually get 44 mil by 44 mil. And it's approximately, even if that is finished. In woodworking, when you're purchasing, you could be referring to nominal sizes or actual sizes. And that's really important to know the difference also between the metric and the metric and the imperial, to know the difference, because if you're going out to site and you're measuring a project, and if you're measuring it and you're thinking that your timber is going to be 50 by 50 and you've got 20 of them, you're going to be 6 mil out on each of those and your whole project's going to be short. So nominal is the approximate because it's going to be before it's dried and planed, and the actual will be what you're going to be getting. So you want to be checking it out. Here's a tip for you. Always carry a tape measure. Certainly in the UK, because we have both imperial and metric measurements on that. And if you're getting confused as to which the heck it is, you can take out your tape measure and check it. So the 2 inches is approximately 50 mil, but you'll know your timber is going to be slightly short. And that's where you go and check on the website of the builders merchants and find out what your finished size is. And then when you actually get your timber, you're going to measure your actual timber as well. I've got a few old pieces of timber here, and this is out of a property built in 1948, a little while ago. If I measure that, we should be able to see 50 mil. So this was before timber had to be sold in metric sizes, and the timber was actually sold in inches. So that would have been, rather than 50 mil, it's actually a 2-inch timber, and that is 2 inches by 9 inches. I've got a couple of others there as well. So when we were referring to other timbers, that would have been a 3. Oh, I've cut that one. So it would have been actually 3 inches. But nowadays you won't get the 3 inches. It will be 75 mil and a finished size of actually slightly less than that as well, probably 68. So let's measure another piece of timber. So if we're looking for a 3 by 2, the timber won't be 3 by 2. That's our 3 inches and slightly short. And you're actually looking at about 70 or 69 mil. The 2 would be 43 to 44. It's not 2 inches, slightly less than that as well. So 3 by 2 is our nominal size, and it's imperial. 3 by 2, nominal size in imperial. Totally incorrect. And that's what's important for measuring out. So this really is 69, sometimes it's referred to 68 by 43. So it's That's for stud walls. It's a bit small, but that could be used for a stud partition, and that actual measurement needs to be known to get your measurements accurate. And that's on stud work, but we get the same when you buy planed all round timber as well. They will be slightly different. So that would typically be a 2 by 1.5, but it's short of 2 by 1.5. We're talking imperial, we're referring to nominal, but we really want to know our metric and our actual finish sizes. How clear is that? Unbelievably clear. I hope it helps. You need to know the various different sizes, but what's hugely important is that you've got a tape measure. Okay, cheers.